Athanasius of Alexandria was a 3rd century church father who, if he didn't inspire the Nicene Creed, was certainly its greatest defender. This creed, or at least the version that's used in church services and recited every single week by believers, exists largely thanks to this man, who's been called the father of orthodoxy for his early defense of Trinitarianism against the heresy of Arianism in the formative period of the church. Athanasius is a titan of the formation of Christian doctrine. It's important to stress that when Athanasius was writing, the New Testament hadn't even been compiled and canonized yet. These were early days. There were no official dictums to refer to, no orthodoxy, nothing like that. This is the man who provided these things. It's difficult to overstate Athanasius' importance to the creation of Christian orthodoxy. In his most important essay, entitled On the Incarnation, he writes an extensive defense of precisely why God had to become a human being, why our sins need paying for, and why only a person who is both fully man and fully God could provide this. So, then, what does this vital church father think is the basis for this unavoidably sinful state of humankind and need for salvation? Well, Athanasius states very plainly that Jesus died to resolve our state of corruption, itself due to the sinful nature that all humans inherit from Adam and Eve. Jesus came to, quote, settle man's account with death and free him from the primal transgression. This transgression rather obviously being Adam and Eve eating from the tree of knowledge, forbidden naturally since the church considers ignorance to be a virtue. Now, we now know, of course, the stories of Genesis to be based on nothing more than a mixture of original superstition and plagiarized mythology, but we're at least expected to take the metaphor of the fall of man as the basis for the original sin we're all supposedly born with, this being the reason we need salvation. So consider what we're actually being sold here, the unthinkable concept of inheritable sin. Inheritable moral responsibility, this, of course, being the basis for that other kind of superstitious idiocy that is racism. The idea that you can have a moral character and value ingrained in your DNA by virtue of the crimes of your forefathers, which, by the way, they never actually even committed. There was no first man, there was no fall, and there is no basis for this concept of original sin. But for how many years has this invention been used to justify the concept that we human beings are in a state not just of mere transgression, but of total corruption, and not only rapists, murderers and the likes, but everyone. Children, from the moment of their birth, well, the moment of their conception, there's another Christian sticking point, are in a state of corruption, deserving of unimaginable torture in an infinite series of punishment in hell. I mean, have you ever heard of anything more cruel and disgusting? And thanks to Athanasius, who grounds the entire necessity of Christ in this concept of original sin, it will never be something that Christianity can throw off, let alone apologize for, since he believed that Jesus came precisely to solve this condition of humanity.